you'll like what you see. Take a look and set yourself free. The service, the style, miles at the train today.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Q&A video. Before we get into the questions, I wanted to go over some things first. As you guys have probably noticed, I haven't been rail fanning recently. There are several reasons for this, and if you don't follow my Instagram account, I highly suggest you do, since I explained some reasons why I haven't been rail fanning there recently. However, I am not willing to discuss this stuff on this channel, so please do follow my Instagram account. It is ViaRailFan6448, same as this channel. And the next thing that I actually want to talk about is the channel itself. I have not been that motivated recently in the rail fanning department, and I have decided that I want to get back out and start rail fanning a bit more. It's not going to be in the same locations as it was before, but it will be very, very, very similar. But the videos also might be a little bit shorter. I don't know yet. We'll have to see and wait for the future to present what it has for us. So this is also kind of a channel update as well. The channel is already at 558 subscribers. That is a amount that I never ever thought I would ever achieve, and I couldn't have done this without you guys. This community is amazing. I love everybody in it. You all are so nice to each other. You always leave nice comments, always like the video, and I'm just very grateful to have you guys. I can remember last year sitting at about, 15 subscribers at this time last year, and this channel has grown by more than 500 people, and I have no words to express on how happy I am. It is destined for this channel to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I'm hoping that we are at 1,000 by the beginning of the summer, and I think that we can do it, guys. And also, out of all of the other rail fans out there, I'm glad that I was able to get involved in the community and my name be spread around in a good and positive way. And a lot of people come to me if they have questions about Via Rail, Goderich Exeter Railway, and other things like that. I'm very, very proud that people come to me for this and that my name is known throughout the community. And it's not exactly a small community either. It's quite a large community throughout the United States and Canada. But anyways, okay, I'm done ranting now. So this video is the Q&A video, or the questions and answers video that I posted a while back. I'm sorry that it is late. Like I said, I haven't been feeling very motivated recently. I haven't been motivated to do anything, I'm not gonna lie. My exams were last week. I'm pretty much just took the rest of the week off to do whatever I wanted to do. I originally planned to edit and do this video, but I was like, screw that, I'm just gonna hang out and chill out with my friends after my exams and for the rest of the week and stuff like that. So, but I mean, here's the video finally now, a few days late. It's not that bad. I mean, I guess you guys kind of expected it. I am very apologetic for that. I am very sorry that this video was late. And without further ado, here are the questions. So the first question we have here is, hi there, I have a question. Do you like the Go Transit GP40-2Ws or the F40PHs? Well, if you kind of think about it, they are pretty much the exact same engines, except one of them has a cowl width body. But however, I will have to say F40PH because it's an F40PH. I mean, yeah, the GP40-2W, it's a pretty cool locomotive, but it's pretty much an F40 with the GP40 body on it, and vice versa. So, and Train Boy Productions asked, do you plan on doing any other Engines of series anytime soon? That is a maybe. I don't know. I've had some in mind, but I don't know if I want to do anything soon. I might do another series in the summer, but I don't know yet. I'll have to think about that one. Cameron S asks, favorite CN CP locomotive? My favorite CN locomotive would have to be the SD70 Ace. There's only 4 of them in service. Not a lot of people know that CN actually has SD70 Aces. They are numbered 8100 to 8104. I have been lucky enough for the first time I caught a CN train to catch CN 8102 as a mid DPU along with a BCOL GEVO on there. And can there be an Engines of CN soon? No. I have got a lot of requests for Engines of CN, It might be something that I will do a lot later, but I have no plans at all right now to be doing anything of this on the scale of engines of CN. And I completely forgot to answer what my favorite CP locomotive was. My favorite CP locomotive has to be the Canadian Pacific SD40s. Alberta Railfan asks, what's your favorite GEXR engine? Now, my all-time favorite GEXR engine has to be the original Jeeps. The original chop-nose GP9s, 177, 178, 179, and 180. But my favorite current engine on roster is GEXR 3054 or XSP 9392. Do you think GEVOs are boring? For me, it depends. I do not mind CN GEVOs. Union Pacific GEVOs I don't like. I find them extremely repetitive. CP GEVOs, once again, I find very repetitive. But if it comes to like certain GEVOs, I actually do like some GEVOs. Like, I don't understand why people hate on them so much. They're not even that bad looking. Like, EMD does produce nicer looking locomotives, but like GEVOs just like, they're there and you kind of have to like them almost. Like, you don't have to, but you kind of do. And P42 or F40? Dumb question. Always the F40. Moving on. Scotsman4472 asks, what is your favorite engine? My favorite engine in general, as an overall, probably would have to be the SD40-2. The SD40-2 has always been it's always been appealing to me. It's always been a very nice locomotive. They're giant, but yet they're very compact. Unlike a GEVO, which they're just huge in general. An SD40-2 looks good, sounds good, and just gets the job done with fewer units than Jeeps. But I do like Jeeps, however, but the SD40-2, especially CP, is where it's at for me. And he also asks, what's your favorite British engine? Now, I don't know if many of you know this, but I do not like British locomotives at all, whatsoever, except for my favorite British engine. I do have a favorite British engine, and that is the Class 40. The Class 40 is the first ever British train that I was kind of ever introduced to in Trains 2006. I always used to drive it in the British scenarios, and it kind of just grew on me. I've always loved the Class 40. The Class 40 will always be my thing. So, Trayman3985 asks, what inspired your name Via Railfan 6448? This story I have wanted to tell for a while. Nobody has actually heard the story on what inspired my name. My entire channel, believe it or not, I was going to make a video on this a long time ago, but I didn't. But my name is inspired from CoasterFan2105. Pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah, CoasterFan2105. He has been a very big inspiration to me, and he's actually the one that inspired me to even start rail fanning. He's the one that I give credit to for making the channel and everything. I'm putting that out there. He is the one that inspired me to do everything. If you take away the rail part of Via, you would get almost the same name. Except I wanted to put rail in there since Via Rail Canada. I also didn't want to completely copy him and just do Via Fan 6448 and Coaster Fan 2105. I wouldn't really want to say it's copying. I took heavy inspiration from him, and that's not a lie. I still watch his videos to this day. I think they are amazing. I still get a lot of inspiration from him to continue on rail fanning and making these videos in particular. And second question he has, of all your videos, which one is my favorite and which one is my least favorite? My most favorite one, there's a tie for these spots, would either have to be the one of me being blasted with snow, or SLA 3806 almost like exploding in front of me with that smoke show. And the third question, do you like steam locomotives? Of course I do. And what do I think of the PRR T1 new build? I think it's amazing. I love the fact that we're we're building a steam locomotive in modern times. Like, especially a PRR T1. I think they were just extremely iconic locomotives. Like, I just love them. And I say iconic way too much. I've noticed that. It's okay, everyone. Question 5. How did I get into trains? Thomas still count. Thomas had a say in it, and definitely, as most kids, had Thomas in their life in some way, somehow. But me, I have lived in this same house for the past 13 years, surrounded by 2 tracks, and live 5 minutes away from the yard. Before they cut midnight service from this town, I used to watch the trains all night. And trains have just grown on me over the past few years, and more in the past year and a half or so have I really taken notice into trains. But I've always had an interest. I've always had a GeoTrack set, and I got my first model trains about 10 years ago now. And question 6, Canadian Pacific or Canadian National? Definitely going with Canadian National on that one. White Mountain Railroad Productions asks, what is your favorite locomotive on the GEXR? Mine is 3806. I know it says 3805, but I know what engine he means. Mine has to probably be 3054. If we were talking about the original Jeeps, in general, it would have to be the original Jeeps. My favorite one that's on the roster currently is GEXR 3054. The next question we have here is from a good friend of mine, the Taylor with Autism 2005. Go check him out if you haven't already subscribed to him. He has 2 questions here for me. So, what is your favorite train of any kind? I'm assuming that is locomotive. As I said before, it is the SD40-2. And what is my favorite location to Railfan? Stratford, Ontario. Tender Engine 71 asks, what's your thoughts on the Amtrak SC44s? I don't mind them. I do prefer a VP42 DC over them, not gonna lie. I've never been big on electric locomotives. I mean, I like them as, like, looking as an electric locomotive. Like, they definitely appeal to me as one, since I usually don't like electric locomotives, especially European electrics. For some reason, I just don't like them, and I don't know why I don't like them. I just don't. Diamond Master 2.0 asks, how old am I? I am 15 years old. Second question, what do you think about the abandonment of the Casso sub? I don't even know what the Casso sub is. I'm not even gonna lie. Question 3, what inspired you to do rail fanning? As I said, a big inspiration to me was Coaster Fan 2105. Much so. Go show him love. I mean, most of you have probably subscribed to him or seen his content in one way or another. But yeah. Southeastern Railfan Productions 3354 asks, is it always snowy in Canada? Yes. What favorite American engine do you like, and what's your favorite Canadian engine? So my favorite American engine, what's an American built engine that I really like? An American-built engine that I really like would probably be the RDC-9. If we're talking in that sense, like, I could come up with something better, but that's the only thing that can come to head right now. Is the RDC-9. It's just a really unique car. It was only ordered for the NYC. I'm pretty sure it was only the NYC that ordered RDC-9s, but they're like really unique and were only built in the US by the Budd Company of Philadelphia. And yeah. And what's my favorite Canadian-built engine? The Canadian Comfort Cab series of engines. So the Canadian -8s, the LW series, like the GP38-2LW, GP40-2LW, and SD40-2LW. So the custom Canadian cab engines, the ones with the reinforced noses and the Canadian cabs. If you could move to America or stay in Canada, what state would you move into and why? So I would probably stay in Canada. Those are my plans, is to live in Canada for the rest of my life and just travel a bit. And if I were to move to a province, it would probably be Manitoba. Number one, because I have family out there. I'm in the province of Ontario, if you guys didn't know. You probably did. But I would probably go out to Manitoba because I have family out there, and the rail fanning out there is superb. You can get IC out there, CP, like it's a big interchange point there. So yeah. Remote Rail Fan asks a very controversial question for his first one. Coke versus Pepsi. I really shouldn't be saying because you know how much of a controversy this can make. But my preferred drink is Pepsi. I prefer Pepsi products over Coke products. Well, I mean, I prefer Pepsi, the soft drink, over Coke, the soft drink. but that is my own personal opinion. Yours might be different from mine. So, 2. If you could railfan anytime, anywhere, where would you go? That is a question that I have actually been thinking about since I've seen it originally. If I could go anywhere, it would probably be Toronto or Montreal. It would be one of the two, definitely. And are you ever going to come and railfan the Exeter sub? I really do want to. I want to head up there on a Wednesday when they do an Exeter run and get them, or even when they're coming back on a Thursday, 581. So I'm hoping to do that maybe within a year. So yeah, just something to look forward to. Main Railroad Gaming asks, do you like Aus steam locomotives? I'm assuming that's Australian steam locomotives, and I don't mind them. They actually do have a very sleek look to them. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, they kind of look like German steam locomotives. Don't quote me on that though. I am picturing an Australian steam locomotive in my head, and I don't mind them at all. Like they're nice looking. They're sleek. Favorite CN locomotive? I think that you're supposed to mean VIA because you said LRC. Mine happens to be LRC. Can you have memes? Why the hell not? Jonathan asks, hi VIA Railfan 6448. Have you ever rode on a GO Transit train before? Surprisingly, no, I haven't. I have ridden on a Toronto subway train before about 10 years ago, or 11 years ago now. No, it was about 10 years ago in November of 2017 that I rode a Toronto subway, and that is a day that I will never forget on the old Toronto Transit cars. Definitely. I do want to ride a GO train. Stratford was actually supposed to get the GO Transit yard. All the plans are pulled for that though. Stratford's not getting any GO Transit anytime soon, and maybe in the possible future though we could actually get GO Transit here. The Railfan asks, thoughts on VIA's Grey Ghost scheme? Grey Ghost scheme, I wish they would have went with it for like some units and also did some VIA Blue units. Cause like I said in Engines of VIA, delivery scheme is heavily based off of Ghost scheme, and that's quite evident just by the yellow nose, the gray back, and all of that. I really do like the scheme, but I do like the Blue F unit scheme, and I don't think VIA would have been VIA without that scheme. However, that's not saying that I hate the scheme at all. Actually, I think that if they ended up actually going with the gray scheme, that it would have looked very nice on their locomotives. That's in my opinion, though, so yours might be different from mine. Trains in Toronto asks, ever consider buying a real camera and tripod? Yes. Also, what's your opinion of CP? Not a bad company. It's a company that transports and that I can railfan, so I'm happy with it. And will you ever do a series on the engines of Canadian Class 1s? Probably not, as I said. I don't know what other engines of series that I will be doing. I do have engines of Santa Fe and engines of GO Transit, obviously planned for this month. It's obviously going to take more than a month to finish both series because of how long they are and all of that, but yeah. Oregon Western Railroad Productions asks, do you want to see CN or CP make heritage units? I would love to see them do that. CN actually recently withdrawed a kind of heritage unit. They withdrawed 2 of their E9s. CP, I guess, has heritage units. They have CP 1401 and the F unit roster, but it's not that much compared to Union Pacific with like their entire roster of heritage locomotives, so I would love to see that. And what do you want to see Rapido make next in HO scale? I personally would love to see them make an SD40-2 or a P42 DC. I actually have messaged them about the P42, and they said like they just don't have like the parts for it. They said like the detailing was too small or something like that. I emailed them about that a while ago. So 3, what was your best catch in your railfanning career? So far, as I said, that's a really difficult one. I'm tied up between when I got blasted with snow and SLA 3806 just smoking. Question 4, he asked, out of all the Canadian Electric locos, what was your fave? I don't really know anything at all about the Canadian Electrics. I have kind of made that a goal that I should learn about the Canadian Electric, since I don't know anything about them. I know more about the American electric locomotives than I do the Canadian Montreal electrics and stuff like that. So I will definitely have to research that for my benefit as well. Railfan555 asks CN or CP? CN. Or VIA or GEXR? That one's tough for me. Can I just like not answer that one? I mean, I feel like I should, but like, do I have to? Cause like my name's VIA Railfan 6448, but like GEXR, yeah, it would actually have to be VIA. I have to go with VIA on this one indefinitely. Carla McDonald asks, do you like the Union Pacific? Well, of course. What rail fan doesn't like the Union Pacific? Question 2, do you like Amtrak? Of course I do. I mean, of course we call it Amtrash, but like, it would be nice to rail fan. I hope to rail fan it soon, not gonna lie. Are you a fan of SML or Jeffy? I'm not gonna lie, I have no clue who those are. I'm just gonna be like straight up and honest and tell you that I have no idea who those two people are, so I'm just gonna like leave that question on the down low. Brett asks, out of all of the Rapido trains past models, which one do you want the most? Penn Central or PRR or NYC? I would probably have to say the NYC, to be honest. Also, my last question is URC Turbo Train or the French American RTG/RTL? The UAC Turbo Train, of course. Mitchell asks, who is better YouTuber, Distant Signal or BrickBuilder711? I actually have no idea who either of those YouTubers are, and I usually don't like to criticize other YouTubers, so... second question, did you know that Canadian National was originally supposed to be called Government Headquartered Canadian Railroad Enterprises? No, I didn't. When I read that comment, I found that actually very, very interesting because I had not known that information before. And third question, if you had have your own fictional railroad in real life, what would its name be and what states would you operate in? Well, I know that I would operate in Ontario for sure, and it would be called the Greendale Short Line since my model railroad is called the Greendale Short Line. And that's about it for that question. Moving on to the next one. Griffin7 asks, what sort of genre of locomotive do you like? Extremely successful, terrible, or quirky? Just for an example, successful would be F40PH. I am really into that successful category, so I would have to say A. 2, favorite electric locomotive. I don't really have a favorite electric locomotive. It would have to be one of the Montreal Electrics, though, when CN still ran commuter service in Montreal. And is mono railroading cheap? Not even close. If you think it's a cheap hobby, you're far from the right answer. For a good model like what I have for Rapido stuff, I paid $300 for my Rapido LRC. And for cheap stuff, you're getting less detail, and might have more problems in the future. It's not a cheap hobby. That's all I'm saying. Texas Railfan 21 asks, when you do engines of Santa Fe, can you include the steam engines as well? It would be nice to document not only Santa Fe diesel locomotives, but steam locomotives as well. And let's also note how many steam engines were preserved and how many are in operation, such as Santa Fe 3751 in California, Santa Fe 3415 in Kansas, sorry, I can't pronounce the city, and the soon-to-be operational 2926 in New Mexico. I'm not going to be including the steam engines. I'm just going to be focusing on the more modern diesel power, so I probably won't be doing the F units or anything like that, and I won't be covering every single locomotive that they had, but I will be covering a lot, like their Jeeps, their Gevos, their SDP40, well, their SD40Fs, and all of them. So yeah, I hope you guys are looking forward to Engines of Santa Fe. I have like the script half done for the first episode, or no, I think I actually have it done. I don't know. I'll have to take a look for you guys. Gabriel asks, if you get a steam locomotive for your layout, what would it be? It would have to be the Union Pacific Big Boy. Probably 4014. I've always liked the Big Boy. It would probably be one of my favorite steam locomotives, so I would just say I'd have to get it for my layout. And for the last comment we have here, I'm pretty sure you pronounced your name Ian. Sorry if I did say it wrong or anything. But for the last comment, which of these diesel locomotives do you like the most? GP50, GP40, or the SD70 Ace? Now, the thing that's tying me up here is the GP40 and SD70 Ace. I like them both very much, but I would probably have to say GP40 in this case, because I do like yard units. They're small, but yet they're extremely powerful, and I have been told that by Godrich Exeter employees. they use Jeeps on the Godrich line, 3030 and 2303, because of their horsepower, they said. And it matches up to something that like their SD40s can do. So that's my reasoning for that. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that you guys did enjoy it. I've been wanting to do a Q&A video for a very long time, but we just haven't had enough people on the channel to do one, and we are finally at that point. I'll probably do another one in the future. Probably when we hit 1,000 subscribers, I might do one. I don't know. But leave your comments down below. Tell me what you thought of the video, if you would want to see another Q&A video or not. And yeah, thank you guys for 500 plus subscribers. We're almost at 560. We're still at 558, so I just hope that we can get to 1,000 by the summer. Anyways, everybody, have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment down below, check out the channel, check out the other rail fanning videos if you're new to the channel, and enjoy yourselves. Bye, everyone.